ladies and gentlemen, we have returned back into the final match of the night here at PVZ. So no rematches tonight, but this player up here, you know him well. The voice that goes even lower than the best Limbo player. It is the purple Protoss player representing Deadly Gaming, EnderSword.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, playing for Brought to Life Gaming and really representing his clan in this tournament so far. It is the Red Zerg, Maellic.
Hatch first from Maellic, and a gateway expand from EnderSword with a gas to follow. Not too greedy at an EnderSword. I have on secret, top secret, super secret notice that he might DT rush.
Well, that's what he did to me when I met him on the ladder.
From the exact positions of his probes, I see DT run now. As we were talking about before this game.
The alignment of the probes.
It's pretty much like when you see a bronze player put two guys in the gas, you're like, oh, he screwed up. When you see a grandmaster, you're like, this guy has it timed out perfectly.
Yep.
It's that's going down right now. That yeah, maybe Kamatiazo may have some insight that we do not support in this team.
Well,
in this league.
That insight might have just been him telling me before the game. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe I'll just DT rush. So I don't know. I can't. I don't know. He doesn't have another gas yet, so that might be coming out in game 2 or 3, unless he only wants to make one DT and then nothing else.
Proxy pylon though on the bottom, not proxy. I'm sorry, hidden pylon on the bottom right hand corner though. So definitely has the possibility to do this quote unquote DT thing. You've been.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone really ever makes them. I think they're kind of a bad unit that don't really have any place in the metagame. I don't know what he'll do with it if he tries to build it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Should have not even said that and just been like, you know what, my supercaster sense is tingling, and
that's what I was thinking. He should have come to the point like right before he puts down the pile and be like, it's DT. Just like, I mean, it's not like I think DT's got to be. I've seen this many times out of EnderSword. This exact player, yeah. You have to make it smart though. Make it smart. Now, I'm curious if EnderSword is he gonna go for this natural, because I mean it would be a DT expand is what I'm guessing he's gonna do here. But there's also the possibility. I'm wondering if you were saying if he truly is kind of like, I just want to get it over with.
Shrine down.
There it goes. And you typically will see this off of 2 base into your 3rd base to do it. But we'll see here. It is a gateway expand, and we don't have the overlords in position yet because it is cross position. So it's going to be a while before Maellic is going to be able to scout. But the thing about ZVP is that the Spore Crawler defends against Oracle, it defends against Phoenixes, it defends against DTs. It can even help against Warp Prisms. So that is why I think Kamatiazo is talking about how it doesn't really have as much of a place in the meta. But if you catch your opponent off guard, oh man. Like,
yeah,
you can do some pretty good stuff.
Well, what I was gonna say is I'm curious when, at least when Maellic comes in for this scout. Obviously, he's not really scouting anything yet. He can't see anything. But I'm curious when he does go in if he's gonna have a little bit of tip off, because obviously the overlords won't get a great scout. He does not have overlord speed or anything. But you know what I mean? When you kind of scout and like something's not right. Something's not right here.
He's got Spore Crawlers done in his main and natural, and halfway done in his. Third. He's safe. He's got a spine crawler up at the 3rd. Like, if he takes any damage from this, he's gonna be kicking himself.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
You know, the DT though, it has some really sick DPS. So even if you have a Spore Crawler, it's not like the Spore Crawler can attack, right? So you can have the detection there, but the damage of the DT can take out the Spore Crawler pretty fast if you don't have enough units.
3 DTs.
He saw them. I don't know if he actually saw them, but his vision crossed them for sure. And he's bypassing the 3rd, going straight for the natural.
He's going right in. There are a lot of links here, but if EnderSword, really nice around
position micro,
protecting the package at all costs.
Oh no! Is he gonna get? He manages to kill a couple links with 3 DTs, and his natural only has 6 probes in it right now. that is rough times for EnderSword. If you're a Protoss player, this makes you a little nauseous to be in this position against Zerg. Generally, at this position, you kind of want to be knocking on the front door with something that's going to kill them. But that fell flat on its face. Maellic with the excellent game sense, getting the Spore Crawlers way, way early. But it's like you said, Tempo, when you don't know what's happening, Spore Crawlers tend to be useful against most things Protoss does, so why not get them?
Yeah.
By the way, if the DTs would have hit the third, they would have taken out the Spine Crawler before it would kill any of them. And so they would have had a little bit of a better idea there, but definitely EnderSword saying, you know, I'm going to be I wouldn't even say greedy, and I don't know what you'd call it, just daring. I'm gonna go in there, and maybe I'll get a better buyout, or maybe I'll get a little bit better of a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the third base being up already is such a... As a Protoss player, you hate it because you want to get that damage done. And even if you go in with a few Zealots with those DTs, you can do a lot of damage, but it was only the 3 DTs. They were kind of fumbling around trying to get the Spore, but that whole position on the Spore Crawler was pretty perfect.
That's kind of the situation as a Protoss. You have to identify, I can't be sneaky with these DTs, I just need to go straight for the face. Like if there's 3 DTs are in this attack, these 9 Zealots are way stronger with 3 DTs, but they're wasted. Those 3 DTs killed 3 Zerglings. I mean, this is Maellic's game to lose at this point. But EnderSword macroing up hard, going for his upgrades. He's going to take his third soon, hopefully. He doesn't have a whole lot to all in off of.
Yeah, once he moves in, kind of how you're saying, I'd love to see 1 DT or 2 DTs with this attack, because it's kind of like, at least...
Or an Archon at this point.
I mean, yeah, an Archon definitely, but definitely in something like PvT, you have your Colossus being the support unit, but the DTs in this kind of way would act as the support unit. Okay, if they die, you don't. If they die, you don't lose, but it's that extra damage you want to get on that special unit. Archon will be morphed in. He does have 5 sentries here, so he'll have some
Spine's a little late. Those are not going to complete by the time this battle's over. Either way it goes.
Yeah, some pretty nice force fields. Getting a few.
They're going to get a few roaches, but then the Zealots are going to be stuck behind the force fields.
Time Warp does go down in a nice position, but I mean, he almost he's all in it here. It's all he could really do to do the Time Warp, but the sentries will be pushed back. There's tons of gas being taken out. Archon just barely trying to take out that. But barely will take out the Overseer. A DT morphed in right here would be a little bit of a saving grace, but it looks like it won't even happen because second Overseer up, and he does have 3 spines down, and the Roach is here, so it looks like he's defended this off pretty well. On the back of this EnderSword saying, I can either all in or be crazy and go for a third, and he's be crazy and go for the third.
Yeah, double Robo in production here, so usually a follow-up would be like, +2 Blink Stalkers or something. He does have the Twilight completed already, so he can continue with the upgrades, but he is going to have a very, very long period of vulnerability where I believe Maellic could take advantage of with this Roach Hydra push of his that he is setting up, but it's not like he has the Vipers or anything yet to deal with double Robo Colossus production. We may even just see straight-up Immortal production coming out here, but Roach Hydra will deal with pretty much anything. That is in Templar and Colossi, especially if you're on such a great economy. 66 drones on 3 bases while your Protoss player didn't do any damage with his first initial pushes. And, I mean, oof.
By the time the Colossus are out and in the game and affecting things, Maellic is just going to have Corruptors or Vipers or whatever, but he can just push across the map now and probably take out this third.
Yeah,
there's 4 Stalkers and 5 Stalkers and an Archon. You can't fight this.
No, no sentries to even segment them out.
Yeah,
what is Ender going to do here?
Off of DTs, your Robo is just so late. I don't even think you can go into that. I think you have to push out double Immortal in this position since you did no damage at all. But Roach is following these Stalkers. Stalkers have no force field as Tempo is saying little nothing to do it out. 1 Archon, desperately trying to be a hero here, is taken out. Now there is no Photon Overcharge either, so I mean, once these Stalkers are out, there is nothing. 2 Immortals coming out at the same time though. Pulling probes, it's just not good. GG. Maellic takes game 1 of this best of 3. ASL's Season 4 Vanguard League, currently in Group D, the Lazarus match. This could very well be the final match of the night. And in the top left-hand corner of this lovely, lovely map, currently up 1 game. Can we see if we can pull it to the finish or maybe go down 1? Playing for Brought to Life. It is the Yellow Zerg, Maellic.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom left. Your local esports hero representing Canada as well as Deadly Gaming. It is the purple Protoss player looking to bring his tournament back to life. It is EnderSword. And what if I just kept this on the whole time? I could, but I won't.
I feel like he also just generically represents ASL in our heart. Like,
yep.
we give him our heart. When he plays, we just stick our hands in our chests and we all give him our hearts. And
take it. I don't need it.
We see just
Pledge
right off the bat,
to EnderSword.
Right off the bat, going for at least a forge fast.
Is he gonna cannon rush?
This
probe is kind of chilling outside the natural.
Yeah. I was gonna say, hadn't done it yet. I feel like, but then
it goes down first.
I love how Maellic's just kind of like Maellic was scouting around that entire time.
He just sent back his drone.
Oh, because he saw the gateway at the front.
He was ready for it. He was ready for it, and then he just sent back his drone. Oh boy,
mind game.
This is the break that Ender needs.
Well, it's a hatch first, so this is the best case scenario here for EnderSword. Now, Maellic is going to scout that there's no Nexus. A forge into Gateway is very interesting, too, because usually you will see that forge into Nexus, but it's going to be forge Gateway into Cannon.
Those cannons are going to finish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lings aren't going to be out in time. The cannons only actually have 40 seconds, or they only have 20 seconds.
Cancels the hatch the last possible second.
Oh, wow. And is he going to go for the gold or something? All the time when I see cannon rushes happen on this map, well, not all the time, but when I love it, I love seeing the Zerg player go for the gold, even go for double gold or something crazy, because this map does allow you to do it and be very aggressive because they're right on the path to your opponent's base.
Yeah, and especially with something like this, you cut off if you do. I mean, all your cannons here. If you do take that third, you're not really defending your natural. Even on a map like this, you're saying it's aggressive. If you take the gold, you can the entire time you're doing aggressive. And he takes the gold. Not only
aggressive gold.
Exactly.
Either golds are aggressive, and he took the double aggressive gold in this situation.
Yep. And it's not a double negative.
EnderSword actually let his cannons finish, so he's kind of behind in minerals. He needs to identify that this gold base is up.
I don't know if he's going to be able to. His probe has been taken out, I believe. The Lings are out on the map, so as a Protoss player, you're like, oh, great, I'm just going to chill here. Denied him his base, and then you just hope for the best. But
he still doesn't have a cyber core.
That gold? Oh, he doesn't.
No, just trying to hold off Zerg aggression with no gas, no sentries, no mothership core. This is going to really hurt. Another gateway.
Whoa!
Does he think that second gateway is a cyber core? He can't.
Oh my god!
And no vision in the back of the base. It looks like these rocks probably will go down pretty soon.
Is he just SimCitying his wall better? But
looks like it.
He's at 76 gas. He should have had warp gates started by now, I should think.
Yeah, I would assume so also. But I was going to say, just from the cannon-wise, is taking the aggressive third, you don't have to defend that natural because you're being aggressive, so you don't have to worry about any Lings or drones going by, so you can just leave them there and be like, well, you committed 400 minerals, go for whatever you want.
That gold base is up now.
It is, and it's going to be roaches.
Yeah, with the roach follow-up.
No mothership core, only zealots.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's just now started it, man. He canceled that other gateway in order for this to happen. But he's sending his zealots across the map now. And you know what? That might be good for him. The fact that he's not just chilling back. Getting a lot of pressure on this third. There's nothing here yet.
See, what I was gonna say when he did not go Nexus first, or at least forge into Nexus, is he's just gonna send his first Zealot over to see what it can do. But I really like just saving up to get a couple more Zealots because he can just do so much damage. But right in this position, he's got to be so careful not to let them die from the Queen. But it looks like a target down the Queen. This third, I mean, pumping out roaches, but basically, I think it's probably not actually been worth it.
Yeah, there's not that many roaches that are coming out, but smartly, Maellic is going to be making them at this third location. And these zealots are putting in so much work. They got the Queen, so that production at the gold is not going to be doing anything. And the drones getting taken out means that this gold pretty much is useless. He's going to get it? Nah, almost.
3 drones left, and still in the back of the natural of EnderSword here. Rocks will go down, and once that's down, speed is done in about 10 seconds. And interesting from enough, Maellic's actually going roaches, but I feel like you make 30 Lings, you go into the main, and you're good.
If these backdoor rocks are going to be the end of EnderSword, I don't think he has recognized that those are even a thing on this map. I mean, you occasionally forget, like, oh man, this map has a second entrance to the main. Oh, there's the pylon down right by the rock.
He's gonna know now.
He spotted it. He actually, when that probe spotted it. Yep, moving his force back up into the main right now, and actually nothing in the natural. Either way, right here, one way there's going to be an opening with this current composition.
Yeah, even without moving in immediately and doing damage, Maellic has opened that up. That is going to be an option for him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's now taking down the cannons in his natural. He's going to have a third base up. He's in control of this game.
Yeah, EnderSword just has to kind of hang out. He's adding more gateways. His warp gate has completed, I believe.
Yeah, just now.
It looks like it's just going to be gateways out of EnderSword. He's just going to have to pump out units and hope the fact that his 2-base economy will be better, because he did disrupt the gold mining of Maellic. So he could hold this, you know what I mean? He doesn't have any sentries, which is the one bane, I guess, of this, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna actually just point out. There's no sentries yet, not even warping sentries into the main. Actually, sorry, this doesn't take that back. I was gonna say maybe going for, +1 attack, +1 armor, and hoping to get some zealot run bys. But looks like right now he'll pretty much only have to defend. Now one force field will force field this ramp off, but he's in just a completely wrong position. And with these amount of roaches, 3 zealots, 2 stalkers, maybe something with photon overcharge, yes, but it's going to be very hard to deal with these roaches, as there is so many more roaches coming out right now. So far he is at 15 roaches.
And he's getting burrow.
Oh my god, yeah.
Ender has no detection available other than cannons. His robo facility is about to finish, but he's most likely just going to get immortals out of that, not an observer.
Yeah, he needs those units to deal with the sheer amount of roaches that will be coming.
You definitely just think of immortal in this situation. Like, oh crap, roaches. Okay, I need.
Oh, an observer starts.
Oh,
wow.
Nice. Well, +1 attack is under fire. There's 2 cannons firing on these roaches, but +1 attack goes down. That is huge, 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 huge.
Yep. Most definitely, and off the bat of this, Maellic actually spreading his creep spread out very nicely. I'd love to see him spread it to the back door of EnderSword's base, just so he can get so quickly any lings, because, like I was saying, roaches definitely will do it here, but with a completely open path, 10 lings will do wonders in a natural, in any base.
Yeah, this is such a scary position.
Provide passive defense in the main, but Ender was actually supply blocked. He started that observer when the roaches moved in. It's just now finishing because he was supply blocked for so long.
Here comes the first sense.
Just now starting.
Yeah, but that is not enough units. He needs a photon overcharge at least to help this, but it's not even going to cover the whole base. And if he can get that started now, eventually the mothership core will take out all these roaches. But
eventually,
that's not the situation.
Force field's desperately going down, trying to cut the army in half, but really just prevents it from prevents a lot of engagements happening. Stalkers working their way down. Photon overcharge actually going down. Now all the sentries are gone, so he cannot block their escape path. There is a observer there though, so if they do go down in burrow, and Maellic is thinking, oh, being so clever, I burrow now. He will be able to.
Mortal is out. Right, EnderSword is a whole lot more safe now, but not having that +1 attack done right now is really painful.
Yeah. And he needs just one sentry to split this army up when it first comes out up the ramp. He desperately needs to be able to do that.
Yeah. Maellic has gone back to droning and is starting a Spire. He is preparing a transition to kill EnderSword. He is ready to move on to the round of 16 in the next few minutes here. So EnderSword is absolutely not prepared for Mutalisks.
No, not at all. He has been warping in a lot of stalkers, so he will have decent anti-air, but you have to hit while they're transitioning here, and it looks like Maellic is going to be the one that is super aggressive. Those 2 cannons are saving EnderSword's life right now, and you know, even if Maellic decided to, he could bring these queens to fight as well to deal with the mothership core. But EnderSword's moving on out.
What I was just thinking is suiciding. Half your army into each of the bases, and you're still on 3 bases than your opponent, but he's got to be very careful not to overextend here. But even off of that, the thing I'd be scared about, at least for Maellic, is okay. There's going to be some sort of
supply block to Ender,
or all in. But he's spent so much into stalkers, he does not have any sentries.
Yeah, like you said, that supply block. Hey, he's just going to go and take this fight. He's in a weird spot. He does have to recall out.
He was on move command that whole time and didn't get any damage done. Is really why he pulled out right there. He was in a weird spot to boot, but.
He just needs to walk down on the low ground where there's no creep and shoot these drones from the low ground. There's no reason not to be doing that with only ranged units.
And an observer.
But guys, there are 9 units on the way.
Oh god.
And that main is looking awfully juicy right now.
Yeah, it is. Units are there, but
you were saying he's warping a lot of stalkers, so he's got a lot of anti-air. The problem is that his whole army is what he's going to need to chase off these mutas. But then as soon as he chases out the mutas, this Roach Ling Force moves in where his army isn't, and he dies.
Yep, but if the mutas fly into the army, that is going to be good for EnderSword.
That is nice.
+1 has completed. But there it goes. No sentries. Pulse around.
Another recall.
Every single recall here just would not have the desperate photon overcharge he needs to, because eventually Maellic is going to knock on one of these doors and get up into them, especially with no sentries. One sentry would do wonders in either of these positions, but it does not look like we're going to see that. Maellic splitting his army mainly to the top, and actually Muta's going to go for the natural base. Maellic going all his lings, all the roaches into the main, and actually they'll pull out, but the Mutalic's engaging into the natural. These cannons actually in range of them. That's desperately not what he wants to do. Just focusing down these probes is exactly what he wants to do, and he will do that right here.
Yeah. It is just a struggle right now, going back and forth, no Stargate as well, so he's going to just rely on Stalkers that don't have Blink. He doesn't have like +2 or +3 to really combat the mutas, and the longer this goes on, that gold is still mining very healthily, as well as the natural that was Cannon Rest earlier. So even though they're on similar workers, it's the fact that Maellic is on 3 bases without needing to really saturate the gold. So it looks like a little bit of drones, like 56, but you don't need as many drones to saturate a gold base. So
I mean, look at his minerals. He's 2,200 minerals right now. His macro isn't that fantastic, but he has a gold base, and he can fall back and fall back and fall back, whereas Ender has his one army, and that's about it.
This is so dangerous for EnderSword fighting on this creep like this, especially with just how many speedlings there are. In very, very few sentries, it looks like a lot of this army will actually be caught out of position, but just barely getting up into that main, but still the natural.
Muta's absolutely ravaging
everywhere.
So far, there has been 30 workers killed.
Wow, and here comes...
Maellic is nearly maxed out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's just going in, putting on so much pressure. The longer this goes on, EnderSword does not want to just be defending right now. He wants to be killing the Muta player as they're transitioning. But he's holding on, and eventually he's just not going to be able to hold anymore. The Nexus at the natural goes down.
He is
every
in
time
the
that he
red.
trades out, he just replaces it with
spend
Mutas.
his bank. Yeah, EnderSword is struggling right now. His main is mined out.
Left. Only one mineral patch. Looks like Ling's going into the main. Deciding to take down that Forge. Knows really the only thing he can do right here is go for a base trade, but even that can't really do much right now. Actually deciding to pull back. EnderSword just kind of hanging out right here. He does have one teleport home, though. Doesn't like it'll happen. Looks like the main is going to go completely down for EnderSword, losing everything. Now EnderSword is engaging into that gold. I mean, even if he loses that gold, now he has the entire time to prepare any defense he wants to from Maellic, and it looks like actually...
Yeah, this is a base trade you can't really win. The rule of thumb is don't base trade against Mutalisks, but the Mutalisks are hardly even the threat here.
Don't base trade against an opponent who can just sacrifice all his units and remaxes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's really the economic position that is here. GG, Maellic will be your second player to advance into the round of 16, and
living up to
unfortunately,
his name
EnderSword
in the
will
Lazarus
fall.
match.